It is always great catching up with the head striking coach at Fight Ready, Eddie Cha, who's got a number of fighters he's been working with, including Deiveson Figueiredo, who will be fighting for the flyweight title next week at UFC 270. Eddie, how are you?
I'm doing great, James. How are you?
Doing awesome. Good timing getting you on here because we set up this interview before. There's been some rumors going around with the Korean Zombie potentially stepping in to face Alex Volkanovski. I know nothing's confirmed yet, but how often do you keep in touch with Zombie? Because I believe he's still back home.
Yeah, he's in Korea right now. We talk maybe once a week, twice a week. I mean, if there's something to talk about, a lot more. But yeah, we've been talking pretty frequently these days.
And how is that? Because I know you still keep tabs on him in terms of training and all that. Is it just, kind of getting a recap from his coaches, seeing what he's been up to? Because I know he's always in the gym training.
Yeah, he doesn't have any coaches over there. He just has his own gym. And so what we do with our coaching staff, Santino DeFranco, Captain Eric and stuff, we send him videos to work on. So we'll send him moves here and there and say, hey, look, this is what we want you to drill. This is what I want you to drill and so forth. And just kind of keep him up to date with stuff.
When did you find out about Volkanovski being out of the fight?
I found out actually I was teaching team practice, and then I got a phone call from his manager, Jason House. And then it was weird because they called the front desk or something like that. He goes, hey, you got a phone call? I go, just take a message. Because they say it's an emergency. And I go, what? And so I kind of found out that way that Holloway is out and where's Zombie at and how much does he weigh and so forth. So that's how I found out. And I looked at my phone and just had like 40, 50 messages. Is Zombie taking the fight? Is this real? Blah, blah, blah. And, so that's how I found out.
Interesting. And again, I know nothing's confirmed yet, but if Korean Zombie was to fight Alex Volkanovski, I'm sure this is a fight you've been preparing for in case this did happen. How do you look at that fight from a style perspective?
I think Volkanovski is an unbelievable champion. I think he's been underestimated the last few fights, but now he's not. Everybody knows how good he is. But as far as stylistically, Zombie does so well against shorter fighters. I really kind of like this fight. I think anybody does when it comes to title shot, but I really think he has a great chance of winning that fight.
Henry Cejudo is another name that's there, and I know he put his name in the hat. How is that as a coach when you have two guys that you're close with and, both of them want the same opportunity?
It's tough, but, I just whoever gets the title shot, we wanted Henry to get it back then when it was kind of the division was kind of stagnant because one, he would have been the only one to make history winning 3 divisions and stuff like that. And I think that's always something special. I wish he would have got that title shot to make history. I think that would have been a great matchup for him as well. But he was campaigning for it. And I just kind of sat back and say, whoever gets it, gets it. So we'll see.
And same question, Cejudo, his wrestling is outstanding. I think that's one thing with Volkanovski. He hasn't fought a ton of really high-level wrestlers. Like, how do you look at that fight from a style perspective?
Well, I know Henry's Olympic gold medalist, obviously, but his striking has come such a long way. He's picked up so many little tools. I mean, Henry's someone where you can show him one thing and he can do it today or tomorrow. He's got that distance game down. He developed a kick game in his last fight with Dominic Cruz. So I would love to see him kind of come back, and we've been talking about it here and there. I say, Henry, come back. Let's start the year off right. So we'll see. I hope he gets back in that ring soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, got to ask the hypothetical here just because, we were talking about both fighters. If Korean Zombie gets this title shot, and let's say he beats Volkanovski, is that a fight Cejudo would take, or is there some loyalty there where they say, no, we don't want to fight each other? Do you get that sense from both of them?
Yeah, I think so. I know Henry's going to, if we do get that title shot, he'll definitely be involved. And if Henry gets it, Zombie would be more than happy to help him as well. And so they are teammates, and I hope they do not fight.
Right. Because I was going to say, how would that work with you even? Because I'm assuming Henry would go with Captain Eric. Would you have to go to the gym? I know this is not something you have to worry about now, but it obviously crossed my mind with Holloway being out of this fight.
Yeah. I have no idea what would happen with that. So
for sure. All right. Well, let's talk about things that are actually happening. Deiveson Figueiredo obviously has come over and been training with you guys. How long has it been now since you've had a chance to work with him as he prepares for his title shot next week?
He came, I believe, about 3 months ago when the fight was supposed to be in December. And then we worked for about a month, and then he went back home for 2 weeks, and then he came back. So it's been a good amount of time. I would say about 12 weeks total. And so it's been going great. Everybody's been involved in the camp. Cejudo's been here, Captain Eric, Santino DeFranco. he brought a couple coaches from Brazil as well. So it's been great. He'll be ready to go on January 22nd.
How does that work? Because I don't believe he speaks much English. So is that Captain Eric translating? Like, how does that work from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, Captain Eric's doing the translating and coaching this camp.
Okay, interesting.
But his English is getting better. I mean, we're starting to understand each other a little bit. Even we have a couple guys, He from China, Mongolia, and stuff like that. And we had a translator at the first camp. But now it's kind of like some of the basic stuff, body, head, or combo, or just certain words. We're able to communicate with each other, and it's challenging, but it's fun.
How's he looking in camp? There's some school of thought that last fight was just, he was off that fight, and people are expecting a much different fight for the trilogy. What are your thoughts on how he's looking in camp leading up to this fight?
He's looking great mentally, physically. His weight is lower than ever, I heard, as opposed to previous camps. So he's super disciplined, super focused. I can tell you he's been knocking guys out in practice too. So
interesting.
His power is back. His timing is back. It's going to be exciting. Brandon is an unbelievable champion. I think it's going to be a true test for him. And I can't wait for that trilogy.
How do you envision that fight playing out? Because again, Brandon has proven time and time again, he's very durable. We know Deiveson's got power. Just from a coaching perspective, how do you see that fight next Saturday playing out?
Hopefully Figueiredo wins by knockout, but I'll take a win any way we can get it. I think it's going to be a super competitive fight. I mean, without the point deduction in the first fight, I think Figueiredo would have won that fight. And then the second fight, obviously Brandon won. So hopefully we see a little bit more of the first fight than the second.
Tracey Cortez, always got to ask about her. What's the latest with her? Anything in the works with her for big 2022?
She should be... I know last time I spoke with her, she wanted to get going in April or somewhere around there. She's training hard. She's a huge prospect. I think she's 3-0 last 3 fights. And so I can't wait for her to have a big year this year as well.
And as a Canadian, got to ask about some Canadian guys. I know Jared Revel was working with you guys. What's the latest with him? I know disappointing fight in LFA, but I know he really had a good time training with you guys over there at Fight Ready. Yeah,
Jared's the man. We love them having him here. I think he's back in Canada. He came down here for Eric's camp, and then Eric got COVID, so it got canceled. And then he continued to train out here a little bit, and then he got the title shot. He went back home, and then he came back, and that's the last I spoke with him. But I wish him the best, and Jared's the man.
I know he's a big golfer. Did you ever go golfing with him at all? I don't know if you golf.
No, I don't, and I didn't know that he golfed.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, because that's one of the things we talked about in our last interview, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Is there anyone else at Fight Ready that I'm missing? I know Eric Anders is another name that's there. Any fights that are on the horizon, or anyone we should be keeping an eye on this year?
We have Vanessa fighting this Saturday in the UFC.
Oh, Demopoulos, that's right. Yeah, of course.
Demopoulos, yeah, she's looking great. I believe she's the first fight. She's improved leaps and bounds. Look for her to make a big splash this year. And then we have the Figueiredo fight the following week. We have my boy Henry Corrales. He's fighting the week after here in Phoenix in Bellator. Yeah, there's just so many fights coming up. Who else?
I think you covered most of them. I mean, those are some big names there, right? So
yeah, quite a bit of fights coming up.
And we were kind of talking about this off air. Like, you didn't get to really enjoy the holidays that much because you've got these fights coming up. So how do you balance everything, Coach? What's your secret? How are you able to stay so sane when you're, doing all this coaching along with trying to, maintain a personal life as well?
I try to take a couple days off after these long camps, but he's been going just back to back from Weili's camp to this one to the next one's coming up and so forth. But just have an unbelievable, understanding wife. That's the secret. That's literally the secret.
Patient wife for sure. You mentioned Zhang there. Is there any update on her? And would the plan be for her to come back and train with you guys? It seemed like that was a really good fit for her and for you guys as well.
Yeah, she's coming back, I think, end of this month or February, something like that. So we'll have a packed house out here.
I think the Joanna Jedrzecheck rematch is something that everyone wants to see. Is that kind of what you would like to see as a coach, or does it not matter? You just want to see her back in action?
I just want to see her back in action. That would be a great fight, though. I would have liked to see that as a rematch in the title shot, but yeah, that'd be an exciting fight for sure.
Coach, I know you're a busy guy. Thank you so much for the time. Hopefully Zombie ends up getting that title shot, but we'll see over the next few days. But in the meantime, if there's anything you want to mention, anything at all, I'll give you the last word.
No, that's it. Shout out to Fight Ready, Scottsdale, California.